So thank you, everyone. Thanks for taking time out of your day to join our webinar on the topic of hosted telephony and customer engagement. My name is Scott Aldridge, and I'm a director here at PrimeTel, an independent IT consultancy. Today's session will give you an idea of what is possible in the world of cloud telephony and is a great starting point if you currently have an on-premise system, or indeed you've moved to the cloud during the pandemic and may have found your current provider isn't fit for purpose. Firstly, a quick overview of PrimeTel. We are independent technology advisors set up in 2016 with the primary aim of helping companies buy technology better. We're not trying to sell you a product. We're here to, we are set up to help you find the best product or solution that fulfills your business demands in the short, medium and long term, both quickly and cost efficiently. And we do that through our continued evaluation of the market, its suppliers. We build comparison matrices, performance benchmarks, but where we really add our value is through our team of experts. As you can see here, they'll support you throughout each project's end-to-end, acting as an additional member of your team. Each team member has a broad knowledge covering a number of technologies, but also specialise in certain key areas. So one, two, or all of our consultants may work with you through the life cycle of the partnership that we aim to set up with you in your business. Here's just an example of some of the areas that we've been helping our clients with, trending solutions over the last 12 months. But generally the areas that PrimeTel assists clients with fall into either communications, customer experience, cybersecurity, wide area networking, internet access, hosting, and more recently artificial intelligence, helping clients understand the art of the possible in that space. But today we're talking about hosted telephony. On the right you have a small snapshot of some of the suppliers we have in our portfolio, and on the left is an example of some of the things we consider as important when looking to implement a new phone system. Our job is to work out the nuances within your requirements and which suppliers can best fulfill these, so that we can quickly build a shortlist and then support you through the evaluation of those suppliers and get you the best possible outcome. So that was a bit of a whirlwind stop on who PrimeTel are. We'll certainly reach out to all of you afterwards to see how we can help you and get you to that right supplier matrix. But today we've lined up, as I mentioned, three titans in this space. We'll be hearing from RingCentral, known for their robust integration capabilities and excellent customer support. We have Dialpad with AI power communications to improve call efficiencies. And last up, we have Talkdesk, a leader in user-friendly interfaces, scalability, suitable for rapidly growing companies. So first up, we have RingCentral, but before we
could just let us know, you can see that okay?
Got that. Yeah, sorry, just to add, if anyone wants to ask questions, just put them in the chat, or we'll have a Q&A at the end.
Thank you, Scott. Good afternoon, everyone, and many thanks for your time. It is very much appreciated. My name's Carl Campkin. I'm one of the account executives at RingCentral, and I've got my colleague on, Ross Shorrocks, who's one of our solutions engineers at RingCentral. He's going to give you a little bit of a teaser of RingCentral and some of our capability later on in our slot. So if the plan for the next kind of 15 minutes or so, I'm just going to kind of summarize what we're seeing within the unified comms and contact center space, that hosted telephony space. What are the needs and requirements of the organizations that we're speaking to? And I'm going to give a little bit of a summary on RingCentral, who we are, what we do, and what's made up within our portfolio. And then Ross is, as I said, going to give you a little bit of a teaser on some of our capability, and then we'll summarize at the end. So that's the plan. So we're speaking to organizations like yourselves all day, every single day, and we start to see similar trends and similar themes when speaking to these organizations. So we've summarized a few on this slide here. Some of these may resonate with you, one of them, all of them, or there may be some kind of specific ones that are more relevant to you and the vertical that you sit within. The key one that we see when speaking to lots and lots of organizations is there's still a huge amount of legacy on-premise phone systems and contact center solutions out there. Those old Mitels, Avayas, Cisco's unified systems, they're still sitting there chugging away, old and difficult to use, relying on ISDN, maybe shifted over to SIP, but there's still a huge amount of those out there still. We're starting to see a few organizations that made the shift from cloud a few years ago, moving over to another cloud supplier as well. But fundamentally, lots of the projects that we're doing are working with customers that are moving from on-premise over to cloud-based hosted telephony. And any project like this, every kind of need and requirement that organizations that we speak to when moving from on-premise to cloud is things like security, compliance, privacy, reliability, and data. What happens with all of that when it sits off in the cloud somewhere? It's a really, really kind of key point that customers want us to address with them. Very common as well is having an integrated phone system and contact center solution. There's lots of kind of standalone solutions out there, but actually having a platform that delivers an integrated phone system and a contact center solution that meets all the needs and requirements across your department. The rise of Microsoft Teams. About 90% of the organizations we speak to have got Microsoft Teams in some form or another. So actually, what technology have you got that can help kind of complement Microsoft Teams rather than compete against it? Artificial intelligence, I'm sure we're all three of us are going to kind of talk about AI at some point in our slots, but it is the buzzword of the moment. But having artificial intelligence within your technology, within your platform, that's going to meet your specific use cases and requirements. And then finally, being able to reduce costs and deliver better ROI within your organizations. Sometimes these legacy on-premise phone systems and ISDN lines costly systems to manage and maintain on a daily basis. So any project trying to deliver a better ROI is important as well. So there's a little bit of a whistle-stop tour on what we see when speaking to organizations. So how do we, RingCentral, help organizations like yourselves meet those requirements? So RingCentral, we are a cloud-based phone system and contact center supplier. We have RingEX, or employee engagement, our cloud-based phone system. And then we've got RingCX, customer engagement, our cloud-based contact center solution, all delivered as a single platform to our customers. Within that platform, obviously delivering inbound and outbound calls for you guys to handle across all of your departments. We layer on the omni-channel capability within the contact center. So we're not only routing phone calls into that contact center team, but we're routing in our web chats, our emails, our WhatsApp, our SMS messages, whatever the channel you want it to be, they're all being routed through in the same way. We've got analytics across the whole platform, the phone system and the contact center. So you don't need to go to contact center to get the analytics. It's across the whole platform as standard. And then we layer on the RingSense, the AI capability, again, across the phone system and the contact center, bringing you the transcriptions, the summaries, the sentiment analysis, the automatic scoring and reporting, layering on the chatbot functionality as well. Platform as a whole is Teams enabled or Microsoft Teams enabled. So you can use any endpoint that you like. You can use our soft phones and our applications. You can still use physical handsets. But if you want to embed our technology into Microsoft Teams to give your staff a single application to use, you can take our technology and embed that into Microsoft Teams for you. And that's what Ross is going to show you in a moment, how we integrate our technology into Microsoft Teams for you. And then finally, push to talk, which is our walkie-talkie function, really kind of useful for frontline workers in healthcare, in retail, in education. If you're carrying around bulky walkie-talkie devices, they're replaced with a smartphone, and it's all embedded in your smartphone. So there's a quick summary of the portfolio and some of the products that sit within it. The platform as a whole is a global platform, so cloud-based global platform, can use our technology in about 150 countries all around the world. So if you've got offices in America, in the UK, in Germany, France, India, Australia, you can use our technology across all of those countries, 150 countries all around the world, one platform, one admin console to administer all of your staff all around the world. It's an open platform as well. So we've built lots and lots of integrations into other business applications, Microsoft Teams being a good example, which we'll talk about in a moment. But if it's Salesforce, if it's Dynamics, if it's Zendesk, if it's HubSpot, whatever those other applications you're using, built lots and lots of integrations into those applications for you. Or if you've got your own in-house bespoke platform that you're using, built lots and lots of specific bespoke integrations into other systems for healthcare and education organizations. We've got UK data residency, as you'd expect, really, really important for UK public sector organizations, but that's across the board for all types of organizations. And probably most importantly, we've got high availability. We provide a 5 nines uptime across the platform as standard to every single one of our customers. So in those traditional legacy on-premise days, you'd have to add in another server, another appliance to get that resiliency. Not with RingCentral, not with the cloud, high availability, high uptime to every single one of our customers as standard. And the really, really key point about that as well is we've consistently delivered that 5 nines uptime over the last 5 years plus, ever since I've been within the organization, nearly 6 years now. So we've delivered 5 nines uptime quarter on quarter, year on year, for the last 5+ years. And you can go and check that. We've got a public-facing status page that you can go to. So down here on the bottom left, status.ringcentral.com. This shows the uptime of our platform last 30, 60, 90, 180 days for every single one of our customers. So really, really important that we say we're providing you with a 5 nines uptime, but we're delivering that uptime for you as well every single day of the year. Says a little bit about RingCentral, our products and our portfolio and our platform. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about a customer that we worked with. So this customer is a local authority. They actually had those kind of 5 points I had on that first slide. They had all of those kind of 5 needs and all of those 5 requirements within their project. And as I said, it was a local authority that we worked with last year. They had an old legacy on-premise telephone system going out of support. They had a separate standalone contact center solution. They had the Microsoft E3 license. They didn't have the budget to uplift to the E5 license. They had issues with downtime as well. They had 48 hours of downtime on that current system, and the actual support that they received during that downtime wasn't good enough. That was more damaging than the actual downtime. They didn't get the support they needed. And a general lack of development of the product and the technology that they're using and the systems that they were managing just wasn't giving them what they needed. So they selected RingCentral last year to move away from that Mitel and those contact center solutions over to RingCentral last year. They implemented our phone system and our contact center technology. We gave them a PCI compliant call recording functionality so they could take card payments, gave them a platform for growth. And the real reason, or the key reason they went with RingCentral across their organization was that integration into Microsoft Teams. That was the real driver for them to select RingCentral. So I'm going to hand over to Ross now in a second, and he's going to give you a little bit of a summary on what our integration is into Microsoft Teams. Got a couple of options: a direct routing integration, which is all embedded, looks and feels exactly like Microsoft Teams, which requires an additional Microsoft license. But our embedded dialer works with the Microsoft E3 license. So if you're an organization just sitting on that E3 license, you don't need to uplift that license. All you need is your RingCentral license, and then we can embed all of our technology into Microsoft Teams for you to give you one single application. So with that, I will pause and I'll hand over to Ross to give you a little overview. Are you there, Ross?
I am, Carl. Thanks very much. Hopefully you'll see my screen in a second.
We can.
Let me know. Excellent. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration of our embedded application. As Carl's already pointed out, this allows the end user to be fully immersed within Microsoft Teams. There's no extra licensing requirements. So if you're on an E1, E3, you can use this application. Essentially, it's a little application that embeds into Teams. So you can see down the left-hand side, you can see a little RingCentral app here. And what you can see here is you've got a number of different options. So you can see you've got your call logs here. So this is your history of the calls you make, you receive, you miss. You can see your voicemails here. So you can see here, I've got voicemails. You can also see a voicemail transcription of those. So you can see and actually see what was actually said within the voicemail as opposed to listening to it. You can have a shared voicemail as well. So if you wanted to share other people as well, voicemails you can do. You also have the ability to have your call recordings as well. So that ability to listen to and play back your call recordings all within the Teams interface if you needed to. Some of the things you can do is you can see here, if we go across the top, obviously you've got the phone application or the phone capability of the application. You've also got the ability to send and receive faxes as well. So fax is still very prevalent in the market. There's a lot of customers still using it. So you still have that ability using that one DDI number to make and receive faxes as well, which is really useful. You'll have a head-up display, the ability to view your colleagues, so you can see your presence and see what your colleagues are up to. So that doesn't mean necessarily just the presence of the RingCentral platform, but also the Microsoft Teams platform. So if they're in Teams meetings, things like that, if they're on calls within Teams, we can see that presence. We've got bi-directional presence sync built into the platform as well. So not only can you have extensions, you can have part locations, call pickup groups, things like that as well. And if you've got things like manage your secretary working, all that capability is built into it. You've also got contact management as well. So that ability to have a synchronized, centralized contacts. So that can not only is your Microsoft Teams environment or your Azure AD environment, but also your local contacts on your machine or your device, and also the RingCentral contacts as well. Now, if I go back to the phone, what you'll see here is you have a dial pad here. So this is how you make and receive a call. So the first thing you notice at the top is you can choose what your CLI is. So what number you present to people when you make a call, whether or not that's the main number, your DDI number, or if you want to block the number, you can do from here. You've got the option to type in the name of the person that you want to make the call to. So you can see there, Chris Hemsworth, that you can either do that, or if you wanted to dial their extension number. Oh, sorry about that. If you dial the extension number, you'll see that it does exactly the same thing. So I see at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place a call into Chris here. So you'll see here. And what will actually happen when the call is, you'll see a little pop-up box. Now, this is not another application. There's no other application sat there. There's no cross connect or anything else like that. This is all, I'm just going to mute that. This is all built into the application, so you can see here. Now, one of the really powerful things of this is everything that Chris talked about, or sorry, Carl talked about earlier on with regards to the AI functionality or the feature set, the advanced PBX functions of RingCentral platform. These are all embedded into the embedded app. So no matter what your option and functionality you have within the RingCentral platform, you also have it on the embedded app. So if you want to transcribe, you want sentiment analysis, you want call scoring, all that type of good stuff, you have all that built into the application. As you can see, it's a very very friendly user interface. You want to put the call on hold, put the call on hold. You want to transfer the call, you can transfer the call here. So if you want to type in first, you want to transfer it through to, you can see here, you can get the option to ask first, you can transfer it, send it through to their voicemail. All very, very user friendly and easy to do. Other things you can do, depending on your permissions, you can record, you can park, the usual sort of things you would expect. We also have closed captions as well. So if you have somebody who's struggles to actually hear, and they can obviously, if you just want to see what's actually being said, it will actually transcribe for you as well if you need that capability within there. Now, so obviously that's very easy you could do. You can see, you can obviously make and receive calls very easy that way. One of the good things about this is also is if the application fails, so for instance, Microsoft Teams goes down, the application will still receive the calls. So the embedded app will still receive the calls. So it gives you that reliance and that reliability as well. Other features you have available to you as well. You'll notice here the little settings options. You have the ability to manage your environment as well. So if you want to look at how calls are presented to you, you can change that. If you want to take queue calls or come out of queue calls. You have that ability to accept queue calls there. As you can see, you can also manage your queues and choose which queues you take calls for. So it gives you that ability to manage your environment. You can also change your settings within here as well. So for instance, your phone settings, your notifications, that type of thing. So for instance, if you wanted something like click to dial as an example, you can enable click to dial. If you wanted desktop pairing, you can do. If any of these different options here, you can set this all within the RingCentral environment within Microsoft Teams without actually going to a third-party application as such. So at that point, I think my time is just about up. I'll hand over back to you, Carl.
Perfect.
Thank you. So just to wrap up, thank you for that, Ross. Just to wrap up, I'm just going to share again and summarize for the last 2 minutes. So thank you for that, Ross. So just to summarize, myself and Ross can talk about RingCentral and how amazing we are all day, every day, but third-party organizations like Gartner are saying really positive things about us as well. Obviously, with Gartner, you want to be in the top right-hand corner of the Magic Quadrant as a leader. You can see RingCentral sit there as a leader. Key point, though, about this is, if you look back over the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years, we've always been in the top right-hand corner of the Gartner Magic Quadrant for UC as a service. Really, really key point is around consistency, consistently delivering that uptime, consistently being recognized as Gartner as a leader in this industry. With that, I was going to say thank you again. I'll leave you with some customers that are already using RingCentral, lots of good use cases and scenarios that we've helped all of these customers with, from education to finance, retail, ProServe, healthcare, helping hospitals and acute NHS trusts, and finally local government organisations. And Ipswich Council was the organisation I was talking about earlier.
Brilliant.
So with that, thank you for your time, and back to you, Scott.
Cheers. Thank you, Carl. Cheers, Ross. We do a lot of work with RingCentral. They're a safe pair of hands. You know, you can see it as they're recognised by Gartner. I was going to mention that, but Carl did it for me. Of course he would. You know, it's a great accolade. You know, there was talk about Teams there. There'll probably be talk about Teams again. It's the big elephant in the room. The way that you can integrate into Teams has changed a lot, and you don't always have to pay a hefty fee to Microsoft to do it. So I just wanted to run one more quick poll just before we go on to the next supplier, just in terms of whether is Teams as a telephony platform of interest to your business. If you could just respond to that poll, and that will be in the chat, so you can respond at any time. And next up, we have Josh and Sid at Dialpad.
Thank you, Scott. Can everyone hear me all right?
Loud and clear.
Perfect. I'm just going to share my screen too. 1 second. Perfect. Do you have me here?
Yep, all good.
Great. Thank you for joining us all today. So my name is Josh Hegarty. I sit on the partner side here at Dialpad. So I work very closely with PrimeTel, Paul, and the team. Scott and Paul and the team over at PrimeTel. And then I've also asked Sid Farmelo to join me today, a senior solution engineer, who's actually going to dive a lot deeper and probably going to be speaking to you for the majority of this time, because I really want him to showcase what we do. So as Cole said, a lot of what we're going to be saying today is words like ROI, words like AI. We're very similar. We dive into any Microsoft, Google environment. The way that we integrate into Microsoft is very similar. But what I'm going to very much concentrate on today is AI and the role Dialpad plays in AI. And the reason for that is we say every industry is reimagining themselves with AI. Now, take ChatGPT, for example. That really only came onto the scene 18, maybe 24 months ago. It's a real buzzword. Probably everyone on this bridge today is using it. Maybe over 50% of you are still using it. Now, what I want to kind of drill into you is that Dialpad has been investing and builds around AI technologies for over 7 years now. So a lot of what I'm going to be speaking about, or really what Sid's going to be showing you, The questions I want you thinking about when we're saying to this is really, how do you see this working in your environment? Is what we're showing you, how is it going to reduce the churn of your agents? How's it going to increase the ramp up times of what you're doing? We want to sell services that's going to allow you to find the answers quicker, to increase your customer satisfaction quicker. I think what we've got to realize today, and I mean, take out of collaboration, but I mean, there's, you know, the way that cars are like self-parking and self-driving now, it really is scary. Think of the younger generation, any of you with kids on the call, the way that they want to operate is very different to how we used to. You know, calling services is getting much lower, and the ability to self-serve with less human interaction is becoming ever more important. And that's not saying calling or speaking to humans is going to die, because that's always going to need to be there. But having the ability to cater for this is the way that the world is moving. And ultimately, talking about AI is not, you know, you shouldn't be scared of it. We, especially here at Dialpad, we understand that you're not going to buy every single service that's entwined with AI day one, but having the ability to take you on this journey, understand what you're doing, where you need to be, what your competitors are doing, we can really drive and take you on this journey. I mean, Dialpad last year, we did 12 months of AI. Every month we produced a new AI service to really help with efficiencies in your business. So just to lean on Dialpad themselves, so we have multiple different licenses. We own the technology to our whole ecosystem, technology ecosystem. And for example, we have a sales license. So we do very well in recruitment, and we do very well with high velocity sales teams, because we can offer things like, as you're speaking, a real-time assist card. So as you're speaking, they could say a competitor name and boom, there's information about that particular company. So we're assisting your agents whilst they're speaking. Go to support, for example, we offer a license called AI CSAT. So I think probably in the UK, only about 10% of people, or maybe less, leave a CSAT score. And the majority of those are really negative. So Dialpad will listen to the tone, the sentiment of every single support call, and we'll give you an average holistic overview of every single conversations that's happening. So you can choose to help those agents that need more help. You can answer the customers that are struggling a lot more quicker, and ultimately customer satisfaction will be higher. Your agent churn will be lower, because you can answer everything quicker. Here's a little snapshot of what Sid's going to be showing you then. For example, take the right-hand side there. As I said, you can mix and match your licenses. So here at Dialpad, all your back office users could be using our AI voice, our collaboration tool. All of your sales team could be using our AI sales, where we can do SMS, where we can integrate WhatsApp. So it's so effective in recruitment or sales, because you can see all of those conversations your sales teams are having, even if they're speaking on an SMS on Dialpad. This is just a very quick overview of where we position ourselves. So we've come from the collaboration world, but very much everything we talk about sits within sales, intelligence, customer engagement now. Having the ability, I mean, take CRMs, for example, and you might, Salesforce or HubSpot, they will plug into every data point of your organization now, and then they will give you answers and output for everything that they've ingested. What we're trying to build here at Dialpad is exactly that, but in the communication world, whether that's on Instagram, whether that's on Facebook, whether that's a voice chat, or whether that's a chatbot, we will have one application that underpins all of this. And I think this brings me on to my final point before I pass over to Sid. So Dialpad has built its own LLM, its own large language module. And why is that so important? All the services that Sid's about to show you is Dialpad's own. So we built a large language module that's already ingested over 6 billion minutes of real-time conversations. What it means is that we will only use your data set, your company's business conversations to respond to queries. So the thing about using things like ChatGPT at the moment, everyone might have seen that DPD answer where they swore at a customer, for example. It's all about privacy and security. if you use Dialpad, everything that we leverage is inside our four walls. We do not go out to the internet to be able to use the AI, which we're leveraged, which our foundation is upon today. So, yep, great to meet you all. Here for any questions that you need answering. And I'm just going to pass over to Sid now to show you the types of investments that Dialpad has been making and the types of technologies that you can invest in that are out here at the minute.
Perfect. Thank you, Josh. And hey, good afternoon, everyone. Nice to meet you all. Sid Farmlow, sales engineer here at Dialpad. Apologize for my super creaky throat. I was explaining to Scott beforehand, I'm struggling with the allergies today, so please do bear with me. Okay, so from a first instance, this is the desktop application of Dialpad. We'll be running through various different AI features that we offer here for your inbound contact center teams, as well as the outbound teams as well. From a first instance, Dialpad is transcribing all calls by default in real time. And in addition to that, we're able to provide a post-call summary. So here in this instance, we're able to basically customize summary length, as well as post action items, followed by the overall reason for the call itself. And not only that, as you'll be able to see many of the CRMs that I have on the right-hand side, the ability to instantaneously push that recap summary into a contact record against, say, a HubSpot contact record in this case. And followed by that, if we actually go ahead and jump into a real voice call, we'll show off some pretty unique features. The cool bit about the recap for reference is that it's across the board on all license types. So whether you're on like a UC license up to a contact center or even a cell license, which is all around outbound capabilities. So let's go ahead and jump into a real voice call. 1 moment, please. Excellent. Okay, so here we are. View stays exactly the same. The unique part about that is if it's in a contact center environment and you've got multiple agents in the same queue, they will be able to see the full transparency of conversations that were discussed with other people previously. So real nice, rather than having to leverage on a Salesforce instance, to be able to view that information directly from within inside Dialpad itself. On the right-hand side, some of the key points we'll be picking up on today is the first, and it's labeled AI Agent Assist here at Dialpad. This is, I guess, really in layman's terms, gives us the ability to kind of have like a chatbot, which you would basically have embedded on a website, but in view of the agent itself. So we can go ahead and ask any questions we deem suitable, and then from there, it will scour the knowledge base articles and provide a response on that particular subject matter. In addition to that, we can connect up to ticketing systems like Zendesk as an example, and we also have the ability to utilize something called deep semantic search, which essentially will take like PDFs and it'll work out what a question is to an answer and provide that as a response to the agent. So I can go ahead and ask it any question. It'll scour the information, and then for the agent, it'll pull it down in real time. And in addition to that, apologies, you can also leverage on like images, as well as posting URLs to push the agent back to the relevant help center articles. In addition to the agent assist portion, we're also leveraging on something that we call real-time assist cards here at Dialpad. I know Josh briefly discussed an RTA, but essentially a real-time assist card is on spoken word. So in this instance, it may be a case that we're going through like a policy call of some sort, and the client says to me, it's too expensive. From there, I'm able to have a real-time assist card appear to give me assistance on a pricing objection. The key difference between the AI Agent Assist and the real-time assist card is one is created from your knowledge bases, and the second, the real-time assist card, is statically created. So providing you know what the response is going to be, so what they see, followed by the keywords or phrases that are associated with that real-time assist card, then you could technically build one out in about 2 minutes flat. So super easy to actually facilitate on the admin portal of the back end of Dialpad itself. And you can have multiple real-time assist cards running on the call simultaneously. So like another one of mine is what different types of headsets are compatible with Dialpad. And then from there, it'll pull down that information real time to give me the ability as the agent to go back to the client in real time and provide a proper answer. Ultimately, we want to avoid, I guess, hemorrhaging or the customer journey itself, placing the caller on hold for long periods of time to actually find that information out. So I, as the agent, is being coached real time as we're moving through the call itself. The real-time assist cards and the agent assist section can be leveraged on our contact center for both inbound as well as outbound, as well as a license type that we have here at Dialpad called AI Cell, which is really focused at like high velocity outbound calls. In addition to the agent assist and the real-time assist cards, something that we can like really benefit from on outbound is a feature here at Dialpad called AI Playbooks. AI Playbooks essentially is created on the back end, similar to a QA scorecard, if anyone's familiar with QA scorecards. But in this view, it's all around agent adherence. So I would ask Josh, like, can you describe your current situation and any relevant context? And from there, Josh could come back and say, I'm with XYZ provider, and we're having a few issues around call quality, as an example. What that would do in turn is actually highlight situation in purple, give a topic summary. I can then move on to pain points. You'll note up here at the top, I actually have the ability to go ahead and change my playbook. So it may be a case that I've actually created a custom playbook for a particular caller or type of caller. And so the way that we do it on the back end is essentially we go through from a bank of questions that we already have with inside Dialpad, and we apply them to a playbook. What's coming in a not too distant future is free-form playbooks, so the ability basically to create any question and provide an answer live on the call itself. On the back end, so inside the analytic portal, there is full analytics to be able to see the agent adherence. So I may see as like a manager point of view that unfortunately Sid Vicious in this instance only ever hits 80% of his playbook and keeps forgetting to ask who the key decision maker is, which is in some instances the most important question to actually ask on the call itself. So we have a section labeled coaching hubs, which basically gives us a holistic granular view of all of the agents in the system and the ability to see their playbook adherence. In addition to the three features that we've shown off so far, one that I quite like is a feature labeled custom moments here at Dialpad. A custom moment can literally be anything you want it to be. It's going to sound really vague right now, so please do bear with me. But it's the ability to trigger an alert when a particular subject matter is happening on the call. So for my instance, it would be that unfortunate circumstance when you're taking a look at my demonstration so far, you're not that happy with it, and you say, hey, Sid, I'd actually like to speak to your manager. Obviously, that would send a shudder down my spine in real time. But what's really important is to be able to deal with an issue in real time rather than then picking up the pieces post call. I'm sure we've all been there whereby an issue has arisen on a call, and then you're then having to pick up the pieces from a post-call perspective, listen to the call recording, find out what happened, speak to the agent, potentially actually reach out to the client themselves. Here in this instance, we as a supervisor of a call center or a coach of a coaching team, so for outbound sales, can be alerted in real time. And how this looks for reference is if we jump into our Dialbot, this will essentially show us all of the real-time triggers that are happening on all calls across the board. However, in this instance, we're being alerted directly to Sid Vicious's call in a particular group and showing who he's on a call with. We can take it one step further and actually view the call in real time. So this gives us the ability to see the agent, the customer, the sentiment, the call purpose, which I'll be totally frank with you when I'm doing a demonstration back to myself. Thankfully, I do have you guys on the Teams instance. However, it's not a real voice call going both ways. However, it would tag it either 1 or 2 words, as we've spoken about products. In this instance, it would likely tag it as a product inquiry call. Full reporting on the back end to surface all calls that match a particular call purpose, as well as sentiment. And you can get quite in depth when we actually take the analytics on the back end of Dialpad. So here I am being alerted to this particular call. On the right hand side, I have the real-time transcription, so I can easily go back through and get myself up to speed with what's going on that call at present. I can jump in and listen to the call itself. I may want to whisper to the agent to help coach them in real time. It may be a case that I actually want to speak to the client myself, so we'll make it a three-way conference. And then the last point of call is to eject the agent and speak directly to the client themselves. So all of the
time.
Sorry, Apologies. So all of the, I guess, the key points thus far around like agent experience. The last element that I wanted to just bring to view is actually from a post-call perspective. So when we take a look at the analytics, how can we determine what a good call is to a bad call? Here at Dialpad, we have a feature labeled AI CSAT. It essentially takes a CSAT survey of the call, well, CSAT score of the call itself, without the need to, unfortunately, see very low response rates on traditional CSAT surveys. So basically, I can easily, from a supervisor's perspective, work out what a good call is to a bad call, and then take a further insight and look at that call itself. Appreciate that was a whirlwind, and we went through a lot of instances in a short amount of time. If you'd like any further information, more than happy to discuss. Thank you. Cheers, Scott. Back to you.
Thanks, guys. And yeah, just a quick acknowledgement of the effort the guys are going to try and get as much information into a little 17-minute slot. I know it's difficult. Our job as PrimeTel is to help you guys find who the best supplier is for your business. We've spent numerous working days with these suppliers, understanding the platform, understanding the nuances within them, so we can work out which is the best fit for you. Whether it's a supplier today or in fact another one that sits within our portfolio, we can certainly help you. So just before we move on to Talkdesk, just run a quick poll just to see of those on the call who would like to prioritize a follow-up call. Hannah on the call is our UCAS CCAS specialist, so she'll be reaching out to you, and if you want to prioritize that, please let us know by indicating in the poll. So yeah, next up we have Neil at Talkdesk. Hi, Neil.
Hello. Always great to go last, isn't it? I have to I have the joy, everyone, of rejigging what I'm going to talk about, because I don't want to bore you guys in a way with the same old thing that we've all said already. So hopefully we'll try and touch on some different points, and I'm going to share my screen, and this will hopefully work. So hopefully you can see this. There we go. So yeah, Talkdesk, next gen AI contact center, all the good buzzwords that you want to be hearing about today on the call. Quick intro to myself. My name's Neil Laxman. I'm a lead solutions engineer at Talkdesk. What is a lead solutions engineer? I'm basically someone who likes to talk a lot, but I'm also someone who likes to listen to you guys. So if you do get the opportunity to really listen to what the problems are that you're experiencing, and try and identify the best way to get through to a resolution point, and to get you guys actually working in a productive manner. And the reason I'm just starting off on that point is because, firstly, here is Talkdesk. I am actually not going to start off on that point. Apologies, my brain was already fried from rejigging my presentation too many times. Just quickly though, who is Talkdesk? You may or may not have heard of us, but very quickly here, yeah, we're just over 1,000 employees globally. We are a global organization, and we are an AI-powered contact center, fully hosted in the cloud. Okay, so I know the guys at Dialpad and RingCentral, they showed you some great stuff, some cool features and functionality, and they were splitting their focus obviously around that back office, front office, a mix of both, and how can you blend that world? What we've tried to do is really focus in our specialized area of contact center. Okay, and we'll talk about AI a little bit more as we go through this. And the reason why we've gone the road we have, I think, is really driven by some of the numbers on here, is that over the just over 10 years that we've been in existence, we've only really been in the market for about 6, 7, 8 years or so, where we've actually been having customers. We spent a few years just building up who we are, what the platform is. But the second we started getting customers, we were getting very good feedback. You can see here 94% CSAT with our customers, which means that actually you guys generally really enjoy what we do. You are pleased with how we work with you and what we deliver for you. So that's superbly positive from our point of view, and has really helped us guide our trajectory of our solution as we've moved ourselves forwards. One of the key points here is 20+ industries served. We really love the idea of industries, because you know what, and I think Carl mentioned this a bit earlier with the RingCentral piece, right, is yeah, you've got government, you've got education, you've got retail, you've got financial, all these things, and they all work differently. You all of the customers that are on the call, all the organizations here, you do all work differently. You all have different terminologies. You've all got different styles of behaving with your customers, the way that you want to deal with your customers. And that's something that we've really taken on board and deployed out with our industry vertical solutions as well. So if anyone is in a specific industry, please do reach out. We'd love to have a chat and maybe go through how we could help you on that. That was my only kind of sales pitch. The rest of it, I'm going to talk about technology, process, and to be fair, the biggest thing, business. Because as I mentioned, we are an AI-powered contact center solution, fully based in the cloud. This is really my stance here to say, hey, look, we do omni-channel. What channel do you want? I don't care, because we can probably support it unless it's some really, really, really niche thing, in which case we might need to have a little fiddle around to make it work, but that's fine. I don't care what channel. We'll generally be able to support it, and I'm not too worried about that. Analytics, do you want to know what's going on? Of course you do. Can Talkdesk give you that? Of course we can, and we can help power that into your business in the way that makes you most productive and most able to move yourselves from a point of pain potentially to a point of success. Self-service experience with automation. Yep, it's all there in the platform. Workforce engagement. I know you can get very, very deep into this if you want to. We work with all the big major vendors. We also have our own solution there as well. It's all fully integrated though, so it all works very nicely. And employee collaboration. Look, the guys earlier mentioned Teams. Hey, do we work with Teams? Of course we do. Do we work with Ring Central if we need to send calls over that way? Of course we do. Can we work with Dialpad to send calls over that way? Of course we can do as well, right? We want to be as open and as available to your organization as you need us to be. But what we are doing is wrapping all of that in AI, right? So you can see there at the bottom, AI powered, superb. And at the top, you can see industry specific products that all incorporate these capabilities. And AI really is the buzzword of the past few years. Josh at Dialpad, I think, mentioned this as well, is, ChatGPT came out a couple of years ago. Before that, AI was a nice to have that no one cared that much about unless you were really thinking to the future. ChatGPT changed everything, and suddenly it became the first word that came out of people's mouths. Can we use that type of technology? And so that's really, prior to ChatGPT, we were already embedding AI and automation and machine learning into the platform. ChatGPT really just helped us speed up and get better customer adoption, feedback, and evolution to the platform based off that. And all of those capabilities, whether it's AI or omnichannel or whatever it is all delivered in a single tool, a single pane of glass, and from self-service through omnichannel, through workforce engagement, employee collaboration, etc., mobile apps, desktop apps, all the good stuff, all the standard stuff that you would expect us to have. But it's not just about a workspace. It's not just about a place to work. It's about, again, flexibility for you guys as an organization. So we also have Talkdesk Builder included with all of our licenses, where if you want to build out workflows, automation workflows, design new custom interfaces for just one guy on one team and one part of your organization, you can do all that. And it's all done through no code toolings. So you don't even need to go down into a big learning pile to learn some new skills or hire someone who's very expensive, who has a very specific skill set. We don't care about any of that, because it is all designed to be super simple, easy to use, but really impactful and give you value very quickly. As an organization who needs a capability, that capability can be there very quickly. And I'm going to move that very quickly now from my, hey, here's what we do at a really high level to, and why do we do this? Because I mentioned a little bit earlier about our background, where we came from. But the reason why we keep doing what we're doing is because of organizations like yourselves. And it's really about you guys as an organization. What are you trying to do? And how can Talkdesk help you achieve those objectives? So what we really want to try and identify is actually, how can the technology help you achieve your aims, whether that's a business growth, acquiring new customers, etc. Do you want to increase your customer experience? Do you want to make your workforce more skilled and effective, or do you want to go down an operational efficiency route? Or do you want to do a bundle of 1, 2, 3, 4, all of that in one go, right? But this is really where we start to dive into who you are as an organization, what your strategy is, to start to align the capabilities, the functionalities into into your organization to help you achieve those goals, but crucially help you understand how modern technology, so here we go into the generative AI, LLMs, again mentioned a bit earlier on the call, how can that start to influence or affect or save money in different ways, your organization, to drive you towards that endpoint. You can see here, generative AI is pretty cool. It's not the answer to everything though. Okay, the answer to everything is always a different answer depending on what the question is, and the question is always presented by you guys when we find out those objectives. And as I mentioned, yes, we're all talking about generative AI now, but we've had AI in our platform since 2018, 2017, around that time, quite a long time ago now. And it's been a constant evolution. So I thought I'd just show this slide here, just to show you that actually, yes, you know what, we are constantly pushing out new capabilities, new features, things like the summarization, auto summarization, auto disposition on our agent assist tooling or Copilot tooling. How can I train AI better with our data augmentation there? I'll show you some of these bits in just a moment. And I don't want to go through all of it, but it's just to show you really that we are a constantly evolving beast. And everything that we do, everything that we build is based off of our customer feedback. So our customers who tell us, actually, I want it to be able to do this, or I need to drive towards a different type of outcome here. And that's on us to support you guys as a business to have that. And it kind of boils down into a few key areas. So you can see along the top, I've got an automate interactions, I've got an empower of agents, illuminate new issues or unknown areas. And what we do to help you reach that business outcome is start to align the requirements of you against things like the automate side of things, the empowerment of agents or the illumination. And each of those areas has different product stacks within that can help you drive towards that. Does that mean every product within that piece needs to be deployed out by you? Of course not. But we can start to track and monitor and identify the ones that will give you the biggest return, the quickest return, again, whatever matters for you. But here you can see things like voice biometrics, AI powered routing, AI autopilots, virtual agents. A lot of customers say to us, can I just have my own chat GPT for my business? The answer is always yes, right? And we've got it live, with multiple customers, but does it give you actually what you need? Does it deliver your outcome, your objective that you're looking for? Now, these graphs are pretty cool. I'm just going to go on to the next one. You can see it's the same graph at the same time, just different bits highlighted. I want to make my agents more empowered. We've got our Copilot, we've got AI-powered quality management. And this graph, like I say, this graph is super cool because it just shows us a nice scaling of actually, maybe a lower cost solution, which could actually, give us less savings, but be easier and quicker to implement versus maybe a high resolution cost with an agent involved, more training, more design maybe needing to go into that, but potentially a bigger impact to your business. So again, we start to look at a lot of these different areas, and I'll just go through here to illuminate, which doesn't use any of the bits underneath, but it is all around what we call interaction analytics. Help me understand what's going on in my business even more. And we'll have a look at that in a moment. Because again, we love talking about AI, and I love this picture because it's a dog and I love a dog. But we love talking about AI, but we have to talk about the risk of AI, right? So look, GPT, very scary stuff. If it goes wrong, there was the Chevrolet dealer over in the US who sold a car for $1. That wasn't very good for them. I know, obviously, we've had some other items mentioned. So how do we put the guardrails? How do we put that big security fence up in place? And we call that AI trainer. And I think that's a really important topic to talk about, is responsible AI as well, because that's something that we've spent a lot of time and effort to make sure that actually, if you do deploy out AI or generative AI, can you do it best for your brand? Okay, so we always look at those principles and guidelines around the use of AI, you know, how to govern that use to ensure that it's fair for you and your customer, that it's transparent, that you know what's going on there, that it's accountable. Because you know what, that $1 truck from Chevrolet was not really accountable for that AI chat GPT bot, right? And is it private? You know, is it going to share the data that my customers bring in? So, you know, that's great, but there's always got to be that human oversight there as well. So that is always part of that journey within responsible AI. So I am going pretty quickly just because of the time here. And I think I've got about 1 or 2 minutes left. So this was my last slide. I'm going to do a quick switch over here. We'll have a look at some colorful things. I was going to try and show stuff that the other guys hadn't shown already, because, you know, whether it's, you know, supporting that agent with AI information. I have actually just got that on the side here as well. I didn't get around to closing it, so apologies, the guys from Dialpad, because I know you showed this already. But yeah, you know, same capability again, right? Is, can I just ask or have a bot for my agent to support what I'm trying to do? Of course I can. Why shouldn't I? Can it go into the, you know, all of the knowledge base? Of course I can. You can just see down here I've got a load of various results in my knowledge base, but I've also got a generative answer here. If I click on this, I can also see the source of that data, which is super useful, because actually maybe as an agent I know that source of data is incorrect, or it's not what I need, and that's still going to help me immediately evolve what our AI is delivering here and feed that back into you guys, into the business itself. I'm going to close that one up. I didn't mean to leave that one open, because like I said, we've covered that kind of capability already. But what is pretty cool, and one of my favorite screens here, is this one, because it's got loads of colors on. I love colors. Colors make me happy. On a rainy day, I'm actually in Rotterdam at the moment, which is very wet. On a rainy day, colors make me very happy, and these colors make me super happy because they tell me what's going on in my company and my organization. They are telling me, oh no, look, my business analytics, product sales and analytics is a massive part of my customer contacts at the moment. But why is it so big, and why is my chat widget functionality conversation so small, right? So this is just helping me identify what's going on, where it's happening, where are the conversations. I can easily dive into this data. I'm just going to go over to this one as well, because maybe I want to look at it in a different way. I want to look at what intent have been triggered in various conversations. Great, I can give me all of that data as well. Of course, I can dive super deep into this. So if I click on this item here, you can see, hey, look, here's all of those great conversations. I can open up transcripts, do all of that. So if I do identify a problem, can I investigate deeper? Yep, I can do. I can go as deep as I need to. And this one's just a chat that's being measured. Oh, Teams is in the way, so I can't close that. There we go. Yeah, so this one's just a chat, but obviously I've got voice calls in here, inbound, outbound, and I can use a load of filters on here as well. So loads of data for me to really understand what's going on. And in the last 1 minute that I have before I hand back to Scott and my voice starts going on me, I'm just going to go quickly into some more colors, because I still love colors, guys. And I know the Dialpad guys mentioned sentiment a bit earlier, and you know what, same. I love sentiment. I love being able to know and understand whether the customer that I'm dealing with, are they happy, are they sad? But actually, I don't want to know if they're happy or sad per statement, or in a simple fashion. I actually want to know across the conversation what happened. And so here we have mood insights. So mood as opposed to sentiment. Sentiment's looking at a single statement or word, saying, is it a positive word, is it a negative word? Mood is actually about the ongoing overall conversation that we've got here, okay? So here we can see a customer started with being quite annoyed, but ended up pretty pleased, and that's a nice positive transition. GPT again is helping us with a bit more of a nice little bit of a snippet there. Again, I can go into the data. I can look at the transcripts of that if I need to. Now, I am conscious of time, so I am going to give it back to Scott to close out. But I appreciate your time on this one today.
Thank you, Neil. Yeah, we've just hit the hour, so great timing, everyone, and appreciate your efforts. And thank you for everyone that stayed on to the end. As I mentioned, we'll reach out to you just to see where you are on this journey and see if we can help. I don't think I mentioned it, but the service that we provide is free. All the tools and the data we have access to is available to you free of charge. So there's no obligation to engage with us. Give us a chance. We can see if we can help you. And I'll just leave it with one final poll, just to see what your roadmap is like for the rest of the year, and that can potentially help us dictate our future events. So thank you all. Thank you to the presenters, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.